What's your most challenging and memorable fight so far? Definitely the Jack Della Maddalena fight, coming in on short notice and, putting on the performance I did, 3.5 day notice, 30-pound weight cut, not being in shape at all. And, fighting a beast like Jack definitely was a great feeling to put the performance that I put on. And I'm excited to be able to get that fight back one day. I have a big fight card coming up at UFC 309. It's a lot of pressure. How do you mentally deal with it? You have to train your hardest, prepare your best so you can shut all the doubt up and just be confident. That's the goal, is to make sure that you focus on the confidence. Don't focus on the fear. Don't overthink everything. Just do what you have to do in training every day, day in and out. And, come fight night, you'll be confident and focused on one task at hand, which is getting your hand raised. What keeps you motivated to fight despite the physical and mental toll? The glory of being great and being remembered as a great fighter, and fighting in honor of my family and my parents. That's really what drives me, to be great and being able to one day provide for a family and have a good life. So that's what drives me. What does a typical training day look like for you? Typically, I wake up, get my breakfast, go out, do my first session. You could be wrestling, grappling, or striking, and then after that, I'll come back. I'll eat lunch. I'll do a little bit of recovery, and then post-recovery, I will go back, get ready for another session. So I used to do about 3 sessions a day, and now I keep it down to just 2 sessions and have a higher output at each session. And it's been great. Give myself enough rest to be able to push harder the next day. What's the toughest part about being a professional fighter? There's a lot of things tough about being a professional fighter. The dieting, the discipline, there's a lot that goes into it. The UFC is still growing, and it's the best pay it's ever been. And hopefully one day we'll be matching the NFL, NHL in terms of the average fighter making a lot more money. But until then, you have to work your ass off and earn your keep, and make sure that you are there for more than just the first contract, because that's where the money grows. And so having that determination to stick with it. How do you handle relationships with family and friends given the demands of fighting? That's a tough one, because that has controlled a lot of my life. Fighting has been my #1 devotion. I've missed great friends' weddings that I wish I never missed, and I missed events. I've missed fun travel times with friends where they've got to experience things together that I wasn't there for. So it's strained relationships, because if I've had weight cuts and I've been around certain people, they don't really understand why I'm acting the way I am, and so they just kind of have held me accountable for it. So there's a lot that goes into the sport. Every little thing you do affects how you perform and what you do in the cage, and so it's definitely been the #1 guiding factor that has either lost me friends or made me miss things that I care about, or not being around family as much. And being now living in Denver, Colorado, and I'm from Philadelphia, not being around my close people and my cousins and my friends and family like I wanted to be. These are all things you have to sacrifice, and everything you want to do great in life, and you have to make some sacrifices. And there are a lot of sacrifices we make as fighters that the average fan doesn't. Do you worry about the future if something doesn't work out as you want it to, or just even longevity in the sport? No, you can't focus on that. Thinking of the future is the most toxic thing you could do, because you're just going to be focused on things that you have no control over. How you control the future is what you do day in and day out. And so I just focus on my training, I focus on my recovery, I focus on the things that I need to do every day to make sure that my longevity in the sport is consistent and it's going to be there, and also that I'm able to be successful in what I do. So definitely focus on each day and don't focus on the future. Is there a specific diet or meal plan you follow leading up to a fight? Yeah, you can't really eat a lot of processed foods and a lot of garbage. Some people have different metabolisms, and so they're able to get away with certain things, but I'm a big believer in what you put in is what you get out. And so I work with MyFitFoods meal prep company. I will go to the Whole Foods or grocery store two times a week pretty much, to be able to continually get fresh fruit, fresh stuff that I need to make sure that I'm not missing a single day, and I'm not having one day where I'm slipping up and eating the wrong things. Is there a specific diet or meal plan you follow leading up to a fight? Yeah, you can't really eat a lot of What's one thing you wish the public understood better about fighters? There's a lot there too as well, but we are devoted, we are hardworking, and we are tough SOBs. We give everything to our sport, and fighting is like a crazy ex-girlfriend. You never know what's going to happen, but the best you can do is put everything and put your all into your training. Try to stay healthy, eat right, and go and make sure you perform on fight night, because if you don't perform, anything could change. You could be released from your contract if you're not performing to your abilities. There's not a lot of guarantee in this sport. The guarantee is what you put in and what you show, and being able to do your job. And so that's the best way you can guarantee yourself, and that's all you have to focus on. When did you know you wanted to be a professional MMA fighter and be in the UFC? So I used to get a lot of street fights growing up, and doing stupid things I shouldn't have been doing. And as I got older, I thought about it, but I never really believed I could do it. My cousins trained at the time, and were training jiu-jitsu in Philadelphia, and they kind of pushed me because I was getting in too much trouble. And one time I got in a lot of trouble, and I really had to change my life around. And so they always were pushing me to get in the gym, and I, was a fan of the UFC, but didn't think I could do it. And then one day I just sacked up and I went into the gym. I met Ricardo Miglioris and never looked back. And so, it really takes that. That's what happened. I kind of just fell into it and realized that I could be, not just a fan and be a fighter myself. And always, since day one, the goal was to get to the UFC. What do you think of Dana White? Your personal opinion? I think Dana White's the man. To do what he did and grow the sport, to be able to, now I'm living my dream. He created my dream, really, like to be able to fight at the highest level in front of, thousands or millions of people, national audience, and to see the sport the way it is now. You owe that all to Dana White and his staff and crew that he has around him. He puts the right people in the right positions, and he's done the right things to grow the company. And he's a hustler, and he's a sneakerhead like myself. So I do have a lot of respect for Dana White, and anyone who doesn't really like him, I think is just misunderstood on the kind of man he is. If there is one thing you'd change in your career path, what would it be? Not really anything. Definitely wish there was, I wish that there was maybe more UFC PIs around the country so I could get access to that without living in Vegas. But other than that, I'm really grateful to be where I'm at, and my career path is great. I love what I do. Being able to inspire people, make a difference in the causes and the things that I care about, whether it's helping raise money for the Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation that I started to honor my mother, or whether it's speaking on certain causes like Palestine and situations over there. They don't persecute you in my job, and Dana White allows free speech, and I love that. And so I have the most jobs you can't. You have to be careful what you say, and as long as I'm not being a scumbag, I can continue to speak my mind and speak about the things I'm passionate about without fear of losing my job. And so I'm grateful for that, and grateful for the UFC allowing me to do that.